I used to hate mornings. I despised morning people. There's nothing worse than you just, dragging along trying to figure out which direction is up. And here comes this person screaming good morning at you, all energetic and vibrant first thing in the morning. I said I would never become a morning person. But you know what? They had something figured out. There's no secret that most millionaires, billionaires, and successful people wake up early in the morning to get their day started. And it wasn't until I tapped into this beautiful new habit that everything in my life got easy. Today, I want to share with you the top 5 things that I did to make that full transition from a night owl to a morning person and help you on your journey to unlock the beast that's waiting for you in your morning. My name is Jarvis, and I'm the Morning Hero. I help business owners, salespeople, and self-employed rock stars level up in their finances, their fitness, and their family. And if that kind of stuff turns you on, go ahead and subscribe below and hit the little bell icon so you can get notified, because I put out videos twice a week, all in the effort to just help you get better every day. I'll tell you a little bit about me. I come from an engineering background. I went to school for computer engineering, and as an engineer, we're used to late nights. We would cram all night, and I always said my peak zone was from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. And I existed like that for a long time. When I transitioned into sales, I spent 20 years of my career in the sales role, and that same habit transferred with me. So being self-employed and being able to control my own calendar, it was easy for me to get into this habit of staying up super late, and then that carrying on to and reflecting into very late mornings and dragging myself out of bed, sometimes 8, 9 o'clock, even 10 o'clock in the morning. And I existed like that for a while, and I'm sure I had some level of success, but I leveled out really quickly and I plateaued, and I couldn't figure out why I was stuck. I wasn't really making progress. I was kind of just existing. And it wasn't until I read this book called The Miracle Morning that introduced me to this concept of waking up early with a structured process to get my day started with hypercharged momentum. I can honestly say that day that I read that book and I made the decision to start waking up earlier was the turning point of my life. From that point forward, everything in my life exploded. My finances started to explode. My health and fitness got better. I got in the best shape of my life. My relationships with my friends and family got better. I was much more mentally clear and mentally sharp and connected, and everything was just flowing. I had a flow. I had an ease to myself. I had everything just started to click, all because I found this new rhythm of waking up early and starting my day with momentum. This wasn't an easy transition, though. Don't get it twisted. If you're used to waking up, going to bed at midnight and waking up late into the day, it's going to be a transition. It's not easy. So I want to share with you today my top 5 things that helped me make this full transition so that I can really tap into the full potential that was waiting for me in the morning. Now, when you think of waking up, at 4 a.m., there's 2 sides to the coin. The first side is the waking up side, and that's where a lot of people focus their time and energy. There's tips and tricks you could do to force yourself to get out of bed. You can put your alarm clock on the other side of the room and drink a full glass of water as soon as you wake up, and play fancy tricks with your snooze and have all these apps to kind of trick you to get out of bed. So to be honest, that's where a lot of people focus their time and energy, is on the wake up side. How do I trick myself to wake up? Here's the key to life. If you want to go to bed early, if you want to wake up early, you got to go to bed early. I'll say that again for dramatic effect. The time you wake up is purely a reflection of the time you go to bed. You have to go to bed early if you want to wake up early. So this whole video is going to be dedicated to going to bed early and what you can do to retrain yourself to go to bed early. I have a whole nother video that's dedicated to the wake up side and what you can do on that side. But the most important part is the going to bed side. And that, to be honest, that's the hardest part. So I'm going to focus all of our energy and effort today on what you can do to start retraining yourself to go to bed early. Now, the first step is you got to realize how much sleep you actually need. Most people, you can't shortcut sleep. If you want to go to bed early, don't disregard sleep. You can't go to bed at 1 in the morning and think you're going to wake up at 5 fully rested and energized. You cannot shortcut sleep. So first you have to understand, how much sleep do you actually need? I only need 6 hours of sleep. Some people only need 5, others need a full 8. You need to understand your body, your rhythm, and understand how much sleep you need to feel fully restored, fully rejuvenated, fully rested, and waking up with full momentum. So the first step, understand that you need a full night's rest. What is that for you? How much sleep do you need? Once you understand how much sleep you need, then you just take whatever time you want to wake up, backtrack how much sleep you need, and then now that establishes your bedtime. Actually, I want to call that your sleep time, because there's a difference between sleep time and bedtime. But take what time you want to wake up. I want to wake up at 4. I know that I need 6 hours of sleep, so I backtrack 6 hours from 4 and I get to 10 p.m. So I know I need to be asleep by 10 p.m. So now I've established my sleep time. But here's one of the most important pieces to understand. There's a difference between sleep time and bedtime. Just because you want to go to bed at 10 p.m. doesn't mean you're going to just lie down and go right to bed. You have to usher yourself into a wind down sequence. It's a chain of events, the things you do that turns your brain off. If you don't try to turn your brain off, you're just going to lie down and be staring at the ceiling. You actually have to retrain your brain and trigger it to start shutting down sooner. For me, my wind down sequence is I have to disengage from social media. I have to disengage from email and television, turn off all electronics. And for me, I like to read, and reading puts me to sleep. So I understand that reading triggers my brain to sleep. It ushers it into a sleep state. So that's part of my wind down sequence. It's a sequence of events that you do that will usher you into a calm, soothing sleep state. It'll help turn your brain off and train your brain to turn off. What is that for you? Maybe it's a glass of wine. I have some people that like to get wrapped up into a warm blanket and drink melatonin tea. What's your wind down sequence? Design your sequence of events and then set an alarm to trigger you into that sequence. So if I want to go to bed at 10 p.m., I have my alarm set for 9 p.m. So my 9 p.m. alarm, I call it my bedtime alarm. And I labeled it, take your ass to bed. So at 9 p.m. when that alarm goes off, I look at my phone, it says, take your ass to bed. And that triggers me into my sequence. So at that moment, I turn off the television, I disengage from social media, I shut down my laptop and no more email, and then I pull out a book. And then I take my ass to bed. So your wind down alarm is so critical because it's going to trigger you to start your wind down sequence. So that is the best way for you to trigger yourself to go into that sequence so you can start going to bed earlier. And then the most important part is you got to stick with it. This is not going to be an overnight thing. It may take you a week. Some people may take only a couple of days, but you're retraining your rhythm. And that takes time. Your body is not going to just immediately attach to this new rhythm. You will have to get used to it. So stick with it. It may take a few days, but your body will naturally start to go to bed once it gets used to this new rhythm. So again, power through. Initially, you're going to be staring at the ceiling for a little bit. That's okay, but power through. And then once you start going to bed earlier, then you can start taking advantage of the tricks you can do on the wake up side. So there's a whole nother video I have. There should be a link where you can watch how to wake up with momentum. But again, the most powerful part to waking up with momentum is getting a full night rest and going to sleep earlier. This is the Morning Hero. I want to hear what your tips and tricks that you do. What are some of the things you do? Leave a comment below on what helps you go to bed earlier. And I would love to know your feedback. Let me know what your key takeaways are from this video. I encourage you to go out there and do more, be more, and achieve more than you ever have before. Go out there and save the world. And I will see you at the next video. Take care, everybody.